right, so I'm back, you guys. So today, this week, we're honing in on another season. So, oh Jesus. So, just to give a recap, a short recap, we've talked about seasons overall and what that looks like in healing. And then the meaning of those seasons in that healing time, in that becoming time, right? But then we also have talked about each season. So we've talked about the fall season and how the fall season is a purging season during the time where it is also harvest season. But unless you purge, lay that weight down to the side, you can't harvest anything new. We've also talked about the winter season, how the winter season is a still moment. Those are still moments and still times. We've talked about how you rest in the stillness of God and you rest into his bosom, how he is your refugee, how he covers you and keeps you. We've talked about that. So now, and we didn't go super full in depth in the winter season, but that's just the gist of what winter season is, a stillness, right? But we've also talked about letting go, So now today this week we're talking about spring season. Now spring season in the natural is blossoming, right? But how do you blossom if you ain't planted nothing yet? The only way something's blossom is unless you have been in that stillness moment and you've been developing and waiting for your time. Because see, listen, the winter season, that stillness is also waiting. It also could be your waiting season, right? And so with that, spring season is your growth season. That's where you grow. That's where you're blossoming. That's where and if you notice in the spiritual, if you notice the people who follow God, who are followers of Jesus Christ, if you pay attention, a lot of them release things in the springtime. Because the winter, they're still. It may not look like they're still on social media, but in their reality, they are being still in the presence of God, and they're developing. They're doing some things behind the scenes. And then in the springtime, you see those things blossom. You see them things grow. You see them coming out. You see them opening up. You see all of these things that's happening in the springtime, right? Springtime, new programs released. Springtime, new podcasts and new, just all these things that starts to blossom as the sun shines, right? So growth, that's the time for growth, and that's what spring is. Spring is your time of growth. That's when the bright colors come out. That's where you get the pinks and the purples and the yellows and the I ain't gonna say fuchsia, but that's where you get all of the bright colors. You get the ivory, you get the white, you get all these other, you get the turquoise and the teal colors, all these bright, beautiful colors that come together like a song. You get all of those things during your growth season, because that's when you're growing. That's when you start shining. That's with whatever you were developing. All of the other seasons that may have been kind of hard for you, that's where those things is like, here I am. That's where you reintroduce yourself. Those is that time where you're growing and you're blossoming. And the more the sun shines on you, you're blossoming. In a religion and spiritual aspect is you go from glory to glory, right? Because you're growing and you're consistently growing. So you're going from glory to glory. Have you ever paid attention to a flower that you see it, one flower blossom, but you could tell it's another flower on the side? So one flower blossoms out and another flower, like cherry blossoms. I love to see those in the springtime because they blossom out of nowhere. Like, you don't see them none of the rest of the year. But in the spring season time, you see the cherry blossoms, and they just blossoming out everywhere. And it's on a mass amount of them. And it's not just like one here, one there, one here, one there. Sometimes, yeah, depending on the flower. But cherry blossoms, I mean, them things just blossom and grow everywhere. So your springtime is your growing time. So your growing time and your coming out time, that's the time for you. What is it that you are actually doing to grow? What is it that you're doing that other people can see you and be like, oh my God, look how much she's grown. And she's still growing and growing and growing and growing and growing and growing. She's still producing. Spring is not your harvest time. It's just your growth time. And you'll know the difference because you start seeing stuff growing and you start seeing multiplication and you're like, whoa. That's your awakening time. That's your rising up time. Right? So, I want you to ask yourself, what season are you in? I know in other videos I asked that too. Because sometimes your spring season, it'll feel like that's your season all year, that you're just growing all year. All year long, you're growing. You know, things are blossoming. Things are going awesome, great. And then all of a sudden next year, you got a winter season. And God's like, be still. And the whole year feels as such. It feels just like a winter season. It feels like I can't do nothing. I am still just waiting for God. And sometimes when you're waiting for God, that season seems like that could last forever. But then what are you waiting for God for? That you're discounting all the other seasons. That you're just discounting the waiting season. It's the same with the growth season. Sometimes we can actually discounter and disregard. And discounter may not be the right word, but disregard, I would say. Sometimes we can disregard and be very unappreciative to the season that God got us in because we're too busy looking at other people's seasons. I know that hit somebody. It hit me. A word is a two-edged double sword. Let me say that for the people in the back. Sometimes we can disregard and be unappreciative of our own season that we are in. Too busy paying attention to somebody else's season, thinking that their season is better than ours. And each season is a gift. Your spring season is a gift from God to grow. Your fall season is a gift from God. Your winter season is a gift from God. It's all a gift. It's all a blessing. So I ask you, are you in your spring season? Thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for tuning in to the TheHERtalk podcast. I want you to know every single week we're going to come with videos talking about healing in this first session. And then we'll be talking about evolving. See, spring season is also about evolving because you're growing. So, I also want to make sure you subscribe. Make sure you like. Even go subscribe to our website. Our website is Erica Marie Incorporated, inc.com. Go and subscribe to the website so that you can be informed as we release new things coming up. Again, thank you for watching. Have a great day. Bye. Till next time.